one I'm under contract with now, the subject to, and the last one I closed on was the subject to, and the two things they had in common were they're both foreclosures. And now it seems to be more popular. I get more subject to deals coming my way now than the actual, cash offer ones. Yeah, honestly, sometimes not having money is a blessing. Like,
Power of Broke is a book about it. Did you know you can actually buy real estate without having to use your credit? The reason I'm doing this podcast today, this is the first one in the Haskins home, and my new podcast here right at home. I've invited Princess, no, not my wife, another investor named Princess too. You know I had to bring her here, y'all. So today we're talking about buying real estate without using your credit, not having to turn in any tax returns, not worried about your FICO score, a home inspection, home appraisal, don't have to do a profit and loss, no bank statements. I could go on and on and on. So thank God our guest today has adopted these principles. They're not mine. I'm just a conduit. I'm just a vessel spreading the word so I can help our people in our community become homeowners and build real estate empires and portfolios. So today, Princess is here from North Carolina. She's going to give you the wisdom and the nuggets that she has learned over the past few years to acquire multiple properties using creative real estate financing deals. Princess Shabazz in the building. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to be here in your presence and your space. I'm like, what? Thank you so much.
There's something about an environment, how you walk in, that can just raise you up or
bring you down.
That's right. I got to keep my eyes on you. So I want to go back quickly just to rewind about your story. You were in the military. Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for your support.
Yeah. Now, how long were you in the military? Do you want to start before the military? What took you in there? Or you want to start? Where do you want to start? I like
it's a short story about how I got in there. I mean, they was paying and, I needed money.
Just money. Okay. Yeah, so you went there for financial
gain. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So you're in the military. How many years were you in?
I was in 8 years.
8 years. Give me the mindset while you're in. No doubt the environment there was a little different than it is out regarding business, entrepreneurship, success, ownership, all that stuff.
Being in the military, I did administrative work. I was a personnelist.
What do they do?
That's basically human resource management in the civilian sector is what it would be. So I worked behind the desk, behind the computer. I drafted contracts just like I have to do now. So it corresponds.
Wow.
Having to be organized, having to have processes in order, and just being innovative whenever you notice that you could do something better next time. Just adapting that process, trying to make everything streamlined.
Okay.
So it's the same principles that I was doing in the military. I'm just doing it on my own now.
So can everybody in the military expect to have these same experiences as you?
Everybody.
The people I know, they're working on, they're doing the field, they're doing this, they're doing that. They have nothing to do with, you got a little leg up, I'm thinking.
Exactly. Being in the administrative space in the military is what, helps me in my day-to-day in real estate.
Got it.
Yeah. But if you have a different trade, then you probably have a different path. Or, it could help you in a different way, I say.
Got it.
It'd be beneficial to you differently.
So we're in the military, you're in it for several years over, you've been deployed. I'm just, wow. You want to share anything about that, or has that impacted you on your business now?
I don't think the deployments really impacted me. No, I don't think the deployments impacted me at all.
Okay, so being in the military, you're in the military. Tell me about your mindset as you're thinking about getting out. You had to have a shift somewhere.
So it was right before I deployed to Turkey for the year. I was just getting started in wholesaling. I had been doing wholesaling for about 2 months. I had been on a couple appointments, but I had no deal under contract.
So for my roundup homies that don't know what an appointment is, what is that?
That's whenever you go and see a seller. I was doing bandit signs then, so I had a few sellers call my bandit sign saying that they had a house for sale that they wanted to sell. Okay. So I'll go over to the house and
keyword wanted to sell, but go ahead.
Or need to sell is what you're looking for.
Okay, I just want people to know.
Yeah, you want them to say they need to sell, but so I went on those appointments and I was didn't have it all the way together, but I was trying, trying to feel forward.
Action.
I took action, taking it.
Some people never do.
It was wrong. I mean, it was like imperfect action, but action nonetheless.
I'm glad.
But I mean, that helped set the foundation for, getting me here, because wholesaling, that's really the foundation of how I'm getting the deals.
That's right.
that I purchased. So I got started with that, doing the bandit signs, going on appointments, things like that.
What brought you to the mentality in the military? Because not a lot of people in the military start doing wholesaling, Princess. It's not like you're in the wholesaling group in the military.
It's by chance. I had I didn't know what wholesaling was. It just so happened to come up on my news feed on Facebook one day. There was a convention in town, and I went to the convention, and they don't give you everything. They're trying to
upsell you.
Upsell you at the end. So I was just like, nah. Something about it, I was like, I could find this information for free.
Okay.
So I went on YouTube, and I don't know if do you want me to name drop? I don't know.
You can. Well, I don't care.
Okay. So it was a Thin Marrow convention. They didn't give everything for free. And
no, they want you to go.
Yeah, upsell. So I just felt like, I was like, the price didn't really add up to me. I was like, I'm gonna look for it for free first. I'm gonna try to do it myself first.
Got it.
Before I pay somebody. So then I found Max Maxwell on
the monster.
Yeah, he was teaching me how to do wholesaling.
Yep.
So I was just getting started good. Then I got orders to go to Turkey for the year.
Oh,
so
wow.
basically, everything stopped.
I'm still want to peel back the layer, because people you are unique. We all think that our paths are nothing. Well, for me, I don't think my path is anything special. It's just I just work hard. Sometimes we can overlook things, and I just want to know why in the world. Like, I'm trying to figure out. A lot of people go to the military, but majority of them don't look for wholesaling. They're not thinking like you were looking. I'm trying to understand, how did you, when you saw wholesaling, what made you attracted to it? Were you thinking about real estate?
I was not thinking about real estate. Honestly, I was trying to find that guy planted a seed. The guy I was telling you about who prophesied to me.
Tell him real quick. You didn't tell the round-up family members.
He planted a seed in my mind. So ever since he told me that, I was searching for what it was that I was supposed to be doing.
15 years ago?
Yes. So I was like 16. I was working at a seafood restaurant. I was the cashier.
This is in North Carolina.
In North Carolina. I was working at it. It's my first job. I'm a cashier. I'm ringing this guy up, and he just felt the need to tell me. He was just like, "You're gonna be real successful one day." I was like, "Really?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "You're gonna own your own business." I said,
"What?"
I'm like, "Okay, how you know that?" And he said, "I'm a prophet." He said, I see it. God told me.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay. Had no idea. Business was not on my mind at all.
Yeah, you're 15.
I'm still in high school. I'm not thinking about running a business. Not that you can't, but it just, I didn't see that in myself. I guess no one else had ever spoken to me that way before.
Same thing I was saying earlier. Our paths are just our paths. We don't even really think of. We just going up, moving forward. So he saw something in you.
Exactly.
Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, a stranger, right? But yeah, ever since he told me that, I guess I was just that got the wheels turning in my mind. Like, what could I possibly do to run my own business?
Got it. Okay. So you already had the seed have been planted for you. I just want people to understand that majority of military guys I know that come to me, they hadn't been thinking about real estate until that time where they were kind of getting out. They're like, what the hell am I going to do? Well, I got to have something else to do other than the military, because it's not going to be around forever.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I went in the military because I really didn't know what else to do.
Got it.
I mean, in my city there was, like factory jobs. You can go to college or you can go to military.
Goldsboro, North Carolina area.
Right. And that's a military town too.
Okay.
Seymour Johnson Air Force Base is there.
Got it. Okay.
So, yeah, there's a military presence. So it's like you either do a factory job, you go to college, or you join the military.
Deep.
So
Deep.
I joined the military, and while I was there, had a great time. But I was still in the back of my mind like, what else? What else is there for me?
Okay.
What am I supposed to be doing?
So you got the wholesaling thing, then you got deployed, you're coming back, now what?
Okay. After my deployment, I spent 1 year. That's that 1 year in Turkey that I spent. And then right after Turkey, I was in Germany for 2 years. I separated from Spangdahlem Air Force Base in Germany, knowing that I wanted to get back on the wholesaling tip. So
Okay.
I was doing that before I went overseas, and I wanted to separate, and I felt like I could do it full time. So whenever I separated, I moved back home to North Carolina. I was staying with family. My family gave me a year, to get back on my feet. I didn't have any,
Lord.
didn't own any property. And whenever I separated from the military, I knew I didn't want to work for anybody else. I was like, I want to be self-employed.
Okay.
So by me not having verifiable income, I had savings. Money wasn't an issue. I had money, but who's gonna rent to me if I don't have income?
That's true.
So
That's true. So your income went from X to 0.
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot. Don't they have classes for y'all to go to deal with this transition?
They do. I went to the class, but it was a lot. It was fast paced, so they pump a lot of information at you at one time, and
So many people coming and going.
exactly. And I won't put it on the military at all. It's no fault to them whatsoever. I do think they did have things in place for you to get the knowledge that you needed to succeed. But everybody's path is different.
That's right.
So.
So you get ready to separate. You went from making money, no money, living with your peeps.
Yep.
So where we at now?
So I'm living with my family. They give me a year.
Give me a year.
They give me a year to get my stuff together, and made it obvious, like, hey, we love you, but we would like for you to, well, they say fly. We want you to fly, leave the nest. So like, okay, and it's just kind of a little uncomfortable, being an adult living with your
a little
uncomfortable, yeah.
I hope my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter is here, y'all, listening to this story. Hit it.
I got a question.
What's up?
What?
Oh, well, how long ago was it that you had to stay with your parents and they gave you a year?
Repeat the question.
This was
people here.
so I separated in April 2022, and I went back home to North Carolina to live with my family. They gave me but they didn't give me a year right away. I guess.
You got to get on your
Yeah.
get your foothold somewhere.
The novelty wore off. They were happy to have me back, and then
Right.
it was
All right,
like,
what you gonna do?
all right, when you getting out?
I didn't think it was that recent. I thought, like,
Yeah, this is real deal. That's why she's here. I'm like, this is a story.
For sure. So I felt the pressure to get out on my
Produce.
feet. I was like, no matter what, I'm definitely gonna be out of this house in a year. Like less than a year. It only took me 7 months. 7 months I was out of there.
That's
But
fast. Okay.
yeah, but because I was in such a rush to get out, and my options were limited, being that I didn't have any verifiable income, I felt like it was appropriate that I purchase a property outright and within my price range. So the neighborhood I chose was not great.
So your first goal was to get a home.
To get a home.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I didn't want to be a renter. I'm a real estate investor. In my mind, I don't own no property, but in my mind, I'm a real estate investor. How I'm going to be a real estate investor and I'm a
so
renter?
happy you said that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you said that. People think just because I ain't bought a house yet, I'm not a real estate. No, you start here and then it materializes here. It can't materialize here unless it's here first.
Exactly.
You can say I'm a real estate investor if you don't own. Just because you don't own nothing does not mean you're not an investor yet. It has to start in your head. Sorry.
Definitely did. No, I thank you for saying that. That's a great point. Definitely, I agree full-heartedly.
We got to start in your head. All right, so you get in the house. You look for a place to live.
Looking for a place to live. Really.
All this is going to come around, y'all. I know I'm digging because I need to know the story. In my opinion, the stories are more valuable than the strategies.
Yeah.
Because the stories are going to see, well, I can relate. Well, maybe I can do that. She did this, I did that. So that's why I want to know the story.
Yeah.
Looking for a place.
So I saw a property for sale. I got
Isbo?
It was not FSBO. Honestly, this was on the MLS.
Okay.
And even though I was doing wholesaling, the deals were not coming in the way it was advertised on YouTube University.
You know that.
The money was good. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first check I got, like I think I made $11,000 in one day. Like
Just flipping a piece of paper. For my roundup homies that don't know what wholesaling is, just go ahead and tell them what that is.
Wholesaling is is getting a piece of property under contract to purchase. The contract is assignable, meaning that you don't necessarily have to be the one to purchase it. As long as you make it, somebody purchases the property, you can sell that contract to someone else. They can become the buyer on paper, and whatever price you told the seller you were going to give them for that house, you tell the end buyer that, hey, I want more for it than what I told the seller. You pick your price, and you take the difference between what the end buyer is willing to pay and what goes to the seller.
There you go, in a nutshell. All
Yeah.
right. So you saw properties listed on the MLS.
Okay, the property was listed on the MLS. It's in my price range. I have a nest egg, but I can't.
Everybody's funds is limited. Everybody's funds.
Exactly. So I bought the property. It's not in the best neighborhood.
You pay cash?
I paid cash for the property.
Okay.
Did you want to know how much? Or?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Okay.
put the
Yeah, I
story. You
paid-
saw the MLS. You called a realtor. Or you had a realtor.
I called. Actually, so it's funny. The way I found the realtor. Oh, sorry, I never noticed I said it. I never noticed I said it like that until just now. It took sitting in front of you to realize my flaws.
I ain't gonna mess with you.
Thank you.
I got love for you.
All right. So the way I found this realtor, I was wholesaling. I saw this damaged property. I contacted the seller. I said, "Hey, Miss Seller, I'd like to buy your property. Would you sell it to me?" She said, "I will."
Hold up. I thought you said it was listed with a real.
No. So I'm telling you how I found the realtor.
Oh, okay, good.
I found the realtor because I was wholesaling and I was talking to a seller.
Got it.
And she would not sell me the property without going through her realtor. I'm like, why? And she was like, because this realtor was there for me. I owe her.
Everybody got their reason. And they have a right to have what they can think that what a dog can come to the house with them. They have their right to do that.
Exactly. And but I reached out to the realtor to talk to her and like, hey, I want to buy this property. Would you work with me? Some realtors don't like working with wholesalers.
That's true.
So she said, yeah, I'll work with you. I don't mind. Honestly, I work with a lot of wholesalers. So I'm like, okay. But long story short, the more I spoke with this realtor, I realized why the seller was so adamant about working with her, because
she's a beast.
She was a beast.
Yeah,
I mean, she negotiated the price down for me on the property that I was looking at. I didn't ask for a price reduction. She asked for the price reduction.
Well, she knew what needed to be done.
Exactly. So she's all in for her client.
Okay.
So I purchased the property through her. And it's not in the best condition. It's a fixer-upper for sure. But again,
when did you buy this?
I bought this in November 2022.
Wow. Okay. So you got out the military April, you said?
I got out of the military in April. I bought my first property in November 2022, all
That's
cash.
a monster. Y'all hear that, y'all? You were taking massive action. Go ahead, pay cash. What was the price?
At the end, ended up being like $30,000.
That's a lot of money to spend on a piece of property that it needs work. Is it habitable?
It's habitable. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. Yeah, you can live there. I still do.
All right.
Yeah, I still live there.
That's cool. So you
I'm
got
still
your own,
growing.
you got your property. That one you bought cash. Well, you're here to talk about more creative financing. So let's finish that story. Then we'll get into the investment stuff.
When I moved into this property, I was working with a seller that I think I already had this property under contract, but it's kind of like just because you have a property under contract doesn't mean that it's going to go through. So I moved into this property and I had a contract for another property in a way better neighborhood, way better condition, probably like 4 times as much. It was subject to. She agreed to sell it to me subject to.
This is a private seller, a FSBO?
I did this. I found her through virtual driving for dollars.
Virtual driving for dollars. Right.
Virtual driving for dollars on Google Maps. Just looking through the neighborhood online, and I was like, I saw this house. Just a little bit of. It wasn't anything like majorly wrong, but I saw just like a little clutter up under the garage port, up under the carport. So I did some research and looked up the property. I saw that it had recently, the seller had recently posted it on the MLS to be sold, but it was only up there for a short amount of time before it was taken down. So I'm like,
It went up and went down.
it was posted for sale, and then I think
They
it was
took it
on
off.
like a day or so. Like it wasn't there long. So I'm like, okay, so she's interested in selling because she's been working with a realtor.
That's true.
So I wrote her a letter, direct mail. She called me back and said she is interested in selling. So I did the whole back end thing with her. You know, I didn't just go to her house and say, "Will you sell me this property subject to?" I gave her the price that I could pay as an investor. The cash offer. I gave her a cash offer. I said, "Look, this is what I can pay for the property if it's cash." And of course, it's not much. So she didn't have any. She had just purchased the property herself.
One?
Yeah, she only purchased the property herself she only had it for like a year or so.
There's no equity.
There was no equity in it. So of course, the cash offer wouldn't do her much good.
She can't take the cash offer.
Right.
Yeah.
So I told her, I think I gave her like 3 different options. I can't remember what the third one was, but I know I gave her, I think I said maybe we could like lease to own for the seller, like sublease. I don't know. I forgot the third option that I gave her, but she liked subject. I told her that we could take over the payments for her on her behalf for her mortgage, and she liked that offer. And then of course I told her that I didn't have to do this. Looking back, I'm thinking like maybe I shouldn't have said nothing because I just went ahead and offered her $5,000. You know, just for moving.
That's a good day.
Exactly.
That's a good day. Good. I went from making nothing to $5,000.
Yeah.
That's a good daggone day.
Yeah.
So this is where I wanted to get y'all to creative real estate buying. You weren't born knowing this stuff. What took you to trying to get into this creative stuff as opposed to just wanting? Because some people I wholesale for like 10 years before I was trying to even get into doing this stuff.
That's a good question. I guess because I saw on YouTube that it was probably you were on YouTube. You were talking about subject twos. There was other people talking about creative financing as well. So I guess I thought I'd just try it and see. I had no idea it was gonna work, but
it happened to work out.
It did, and now it seems to be more popular. I get more subject to deals coming my way now than the actual, cash offer ones. Yeah.
Do you have any inkling of why do you think that might be?
I think it's just easier for the seller. So the last 2, the one I'm under contract with now, the subject to, and the last one I closed on was the subject to, and the 2 things they had in common were they're both foreclosures.
Pre-foreclosure?
No, it was, whenever I first started conversing with the seller, it was in pre-foreclosure, but by the time we made it to the closing table, it was already in foreclosure.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They're in trouble then.
Yes. The seller that I'm working with now, the property is actually in foreclosure. Yes.
They're in trouble.
For
Good
sure.
luck. Yeah. Does it have a date? It's got a date already.
Are you talking about for the hearing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the date, the foreclosure happens. So either you get it before or you can't buy it after they've already foreclosed on it.
Oh, no. That didn't happen.
So it's still before the auction.
Right. It's before the auction.
All right, cool. So anything before you can't do nothing, as you know. And once it gets foreclosed on, it's done.
Oh, no. The foreclosure hadn't taken place yet.
So it's still
pre-foreclosure.
Right, cool.
Okay. Sorry about that.
So for people that don't know what subject to is, can you just give them your version of it? Because people hear me, they like, that's not, I don't know, that's just Kris doing it. But I want to hear you explain it.
So the seller has a mortgage out on the property. They still have a mortgage balance. They owe this mortgage lender. They may be tired of making the payments. Either way, you will take over the mortgage payments, but the loan stays in the seller's name. You just make the payments on their behalf each month. So you find a way to make a profit on that. I mean, if you want to rent the house out, make your profit that way. But that's what I plan on doing. Well, really, what I plan on doing with this new one is doing the rent to own, the lease option. So I hope to have a tenant buyer, and I do have a lot of interest in the property right now as far as rent to own. So hopefully it works out because I'm not looking forward to doing any repairs.
I love it. Where are you learning this crazy stuff from, Princess?
The man
Why
sitting in
don't
front
you
of me.
want to be a landlord and fix the house up and do new paint and carpet and make it all pretty and warm and fuzzy for a new tenant?
Honestly, for me, it's more cash flow involved if I don't have to make any repairs.
Yes.
You know, that's how I feel. I keep more money in my pocket, and then the profit increases.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
What can you give people out there that think being a traditional landlord is the way to go? What can you help them to open their minds up to this creative thing?
People don't be paying. Like, people do not pay rent sometimes.
Sometimes
people don't pay rent.
a lot of times.
I'm telling you, like, I don't know. You got to put that note on their door. Like, hey, I will take you to court. You got to get up out of here. If you do not pay me, you have to pay me. What are y'all? Your kids is not going to be opening up my rent money up under the Christmas tree on Christmas.
Isn't it strange how some people don't understand rent's due every month? I mean,
Every month, yeah.
It actually is every month. It's every month.
Every month. Like, you can't skip one, but I just paid you last month. No, you got to pay me this month too.
I never understood that. I don't get that one.
But I paid you last month.
Anyway, yeah, so being a landlord is so overrated. My mentor has set me down, and I hang out with guys who have way more houses than me, and I have to get recalibrated, and they tune my frequency so I can make sure I'm on the same page. But you have already, I want to say, graduated to understanding that landlording is a rough business, as opposed to you turning yourself into the bank. So you learned that stuff. You, no doubt you were on the original path of being a landlord because we're all trained that
Right.
way. What was it like that turned for you like, maybe this might not be what I want to do?
Honestly, sometimes not having money is a blessing.
You
Like,
got it
some,
right.
you know,
Power of Broke is a book about it.
Power of Broke. I'm going to have to look
The
that
Power
up.
of Broke by, who's it by? What's the shark name? The only black shark.
I forgot his name.
Chris?
Damon.
Oh, okay.
Damon John. Go ahead.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Shark Tales.
Oh, no. You took it all that. No, that's a whole nother.
Where were we?
We're talking about the power of broke and
Oh.
why you went from being a landlord to possibly being a bank.
To be honest with you, Chris, it's just as simple as I don't have the money to do the rehab. I mean, I could find the money, but
Why?
why?
Put yourself into more debt
Exactly.
when somebody else will do the work for you on your house during a rent to own.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, man. I don't know what to do. So round up the ladies buying real estate. So the ones you have purchased, I'm presuming you walked, I'm envisioning you moving and shaking in your town. Were you nervous buying your first subject to deal? I mean, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. If you don't think so, if nobody's congratulating you where you live, it's a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate
Has
it.
anybody told you? Is anybody bigging you up where you at?
I don't go around telling people that I do subject to.
Stealing houses.
Exactly. I don't want that. That's exactly what people's mind is going to go. And I do not advertise it that, I do subject to deals or,
Why not?
Because a lot of people won't understand it and what people fear what they don't understand. So
That's true. They think you shady.
Exactly.
That old princess stealing.
They think something wrong with the rent to own. Even I'm marketing the rent to own. They're looking at the purchase price and things.
It's high.
It's high, but how often do you see a rent to own opportunity?
Very rare.
You pay for the convenience.
Convenience, financing, ability to go, no credit check, little money down. I mean, all this stuff.
Exactly. So what a person who is in a situation where they have A1 credit, they can go out and get a traditional mortgage. They'll look at the opportunity that I'm providing as, you're taking advantage of someone. But the person who this is ideal for, they're thankful that they have an opportunity at home ownership, even though they're not in the best financial situation. Their credit isn't right. They have negative things on their credit report. I'm helping them. To me, I'm a ray of sunshine to that person. Like
You're an asset to them.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that. So, anything else you want to share about? Because in real estate we have to get in the house and then get out. So you got the buy strategy and then the sell strategy. So, are we done? Anything else you want to share about your buying strategy? Leads? Are you sourcing leads? Anything you want to share about your favorite way to get leads with the Roundup family?
My favorite way to get leads is driving for dollars.
D for D.
Yes, driving for dollars is my favorite way to get leads. If there's something wrong on the outside, there may be something like more wrong on the inside.
Even worse.
Yeah, it's an indicator that something is going on. There could be a reason why there's a hole in the roof that hasn't been fixed, or even if there's a car out in the driveway that's broken down. Why haven't you cut your grass? People have other priorities. Like the grass doesn't mean anything. If I can't pay the mortgage on the house,
or light bill, or whatever bill.
If I don't have running water in my house, how am I gonna pay somebody to cut my grass?
That's deep.
So
I'm glad you said that. A lot of people think, well, the house is just an indicator. You said the key word you're saying, I love it. Why? Why is that? It's not just because people look at the house and they think, I'm gonna get this house. Well, you said the key word. You have to know, y'all. If you don't know why somebody's in distress, you're not gonna be buying nothing. You have to figure out, why are they doing this? Sound like you got you've been trained by some masters.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're one of them.
I appreciate
You're one
that.
of them for sure.
I appreciate that. So we got your end. You're buying subject to taking over debt, no credit. Now you want to get out. You said rent to own. So tell me a little bit about your strategy on rent to own. What is it, first of all?
My strategy on rent to own is I require some might say large depending on their financial situation, but I say a significant down payment towards the purchase price of the property, which is actually on paper their option fee. I'm giving them the option to purchase the property within a specific time frame, which is their lease period. For me, it's 2 years. It's a 2-year lease, and anytime during that 2-year lease period, they can go get a traditional mortgage, or however they want to. They can
just write you a check.
Exactly. They can pay all cash if they want to. Money order me if you want. I'm joking.
Cashier's check.
Yeah, for sure. PayPal me.
So this is you getting out of the house. So y'all understand. We talked about getting in. So you're getting out, rent to own.
Exactly. So they want home ownership, and I want to make money. So they have the option to buy. They don't necessarily have to, but they don't get their deposit back if they choose not to, or if they're not able to in the time frame that we established in the beginning.
So who are these people that you're generally marketing to? Is it a particular avatar that you're seeing coming to you? No doubt your phone's ringing off the hook for rent-to-own properties.
Exactly. To be honest, can I be honest on you about the hurdles?
Please,
It's not all sweet, to be honest with you.
No, none of this is. People think this stuff is easy and you just go, cash flow falls out of the sky once you buy the house.
Okay.
Doesn't work like that.
Ways that I market the property, rent to own, would be like, signs. My main way of marketing properties, whether that be wholesaling or rental properties or rent to own, is Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
However,
that's crazy.
They are haters out there. For some reason, my posts get flagged. And
really?
Right now, I am banned from Facebook Marketplace.
Me too.
You too?
Yeah.
Why?
You have to look at the words that you're using. No credit, bad credit. I finally figured this out. Do you know that there's a group that will help with that?
What's that?
They have a group.
Oh, yeah?
On Facebook. Okay. Sellers banned from Facebook Marketplace. It's actually a group you can join. So you can't use credit.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is.
One of them.
Okay.
Right? I mean, obviously you've been kicked off. A lot of investors get kicked off, but you can hire somebody else to run your ads, though. We can get into that.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm like, Facebook Marketplace is where I reel in most of my inquiries.
Yep.
And then I try to streamline it. Even when they reply back to me on Facebook Marketplace, I send them to Zillow because I've been marketing on Zillow, and Zillow advertises on Hotpad and Truly.
Yeah, automatically.
As well.
Zillow's a little funkier regarding just the leads, but you need to be on Facebook, man.
Yes.
But if you get kicked off, we got the. There are some words, man, that you can't use. I mean, they're just like keywords that Facebook does not like. I just learned this.
It's hurting. It hurt my feelings. I woke up to it one morning and I was like, no, because this is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
This is really where I get the people coming.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
So you can go to Fiverr and hire somebody to run your ad, and they're gonna know what words to use. But we can look at it before you leave. That's a big one.
Okay.
If you get kicked off, because Craigslist, there's not a lot of traffic going there anymore.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. 'Cause, I mean, it just seems like, I'm not saying like something's wrong with it, but it just seems to me, it's like, why are you on Craigslist? I mean, you got Instagram,
Seems
you got
fishy.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems fishy. So the leads come in. Well, when you were on there, you got kicked off. Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to share about that with the negative stuff?
With the negative stuff.
You got a lot of leads coming in.
So the only other negative thing I would say about it is you're gonna have a lot of people that, well, I know what you do to minimize that, but I'm kind of like distrusting. But you have a lot of people who they either you say this is what you need for the down payment. They know they don't have that down payment. They know they don't have the first month's rent. But
this is after you're talking with them.
Exactly.
Which is time.
They're gonna waste your time. It's a lot of time showing the property to people who.
You showing the properties?
I'm showing the properties. Is
Really?
that wrong?
I mean, everybody's different. I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. So you're going and meeting people?
I'm actually going and meeting the people. I'm showing them the property myself. I know that I could put a lockbox on the door and just give them access to it, but I'm kind of afraid of vandalism.
Okay.
Again, Goldsboro might be a little bit different than Chesapeake.
Might.
But I am afraid of just, someone disrupting something.
It could. So. It could mess it up. Well, I don't know if I have your permission to speak on my experience with that.
Please.
Well, I've only had one so far since 2004. Somebody moved in one of my houses like that. They were going to move Lexington Street. Did I tell you?
What about Lexington Street?
Somebody moved in.
Again?
That one time, I don't. Anyway, somebody tried to move in. Yeah, somebody moved in. Somebody tried to move in from an ad. Mm-hmm. So I had to go. Luckily, I just happened to be driving by and I got them out. But all of my mentors, they've been doing this for 60, 70 years combined. And one of the rules we live by is there's nothing against you. We never show houses.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm not saying you. Please do what works
more.
for you. Because the time that it takes you to get there, I could be doing so much other stuff. And if they steal something, then the house now comes without refrigerator. We just sold a house with no refrigerator, no stove, I mean, nothing. So obviously you have to kind of get over that mental roadblock. We all have our limiting beliefs, like, will they buy it if it doesn't have that? Will they buy it if it doesn't have an electrical panel? Will they buy it if it doesn't have, so it's a mentality that one has to either embrace or you don't have to. You can show it. That way you coming in and out, people gone. Mm-hmm. Right, so you sleep better at night, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I just told you my rule. Yeah.
So this one that I'm working on now, I feel better not showing the property myself simply because I haven't done any renovations to it. So I have nothing to protect,
Ain't nothing to protect.
There's nothing to protect and my money is not in it. So
okay, yeah, you ain't got nothing to show. I mean, you still gonna show that one too?
No, that's what I'm saying. This one, I'm willing to not show it. I'm leaning more towards not showing this one.
What could they take? What are they gonna do? Take the roof?
No.
What are they gonna take? There's nothing to take.
Yeah.
Out of this one.
But the last one, I actually did a full rehab on it. It wasn't that bad, honestly.
You did enough.
I did enough to where I don't want nobody to mess up this paint job, this fresh paint. I don't want you messing up the tile. I swept up after everyone left. After each appointment, I swept the floor just make it look presentable.
Okay.
Because I actually put money into it and I wanted a certain amount of rent for it.
Got it.
Yeah,
that's
I showed
cool.
the property.
I'm not mad at you. Whatever you make me feel comfortable. I am just going to let you know that we just don't do nothing to these houses. I mean, there's a buyer out there for every house.
Okay.
And when I do, I think when we talked a minute ago, somebody said your house price was too high, they didn't want it. Or even for me, they say the price might be too high. They're setting the house for you.
Exactly.
We sell financing, we don't sell houses. Mm-hmm. I'll make it easy for you to get into them. Mm-hmm. But if you want something that's cheaper, go buy that one over there. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, good luck.
So rent to own, so you're getting calls in, so you're looking for, what are the things that you're looking for with your rent to own buyer? What are you looking to get out of doing a rental home?
A buyer, I like to hear them say certain things whenever I speak to them. I like to hear them like express kind of concerns about credit, because then I'm happy to tell them that your credit doesn't matter. I don't care what your credit score is.
So you're not even concerned with credit?
No, I'm gonna look at it. I'll peek at it, just see what's going on.
Gotcha.
But I don't really care what the credit score is.
All right, that's fair.
But if I have two applicants that's kind of look the same, I guess I'll go with the person who have the better credit score.
Got it. So the credit, what else you looking for?
I'm looking for.
They can move in no money down. They get to move in.
No, they can't move in no money down. I want the deposit. Not security deposit, but I want the down payment.
All right, yeah.
I want
won't do the.
Yeah, no security deposit. And I don't. If it's for the rent to own, I'm not gonna ask for last month's rent either, since they're paying such a upfront cost with the down payment.
Tell us a little bit about that. How do you gauge a down payment for property?
Honestly, I try to calculate cash on cash return. Like I do a little math to see what I feel like is reasonable for it. But yes, for this current one, that down payment amount is $5,000.
$5K.
Yes, and I think you said that on one of your videos, try to get $5,000. So
$5K, it's a round number. Sounds good. Feels good going to the bank too.
Yeah.
What is the purchase price on this one? What did you buy it for, and what are you selling it for?
So I will acquire this property after it's all said and done.
Subject to, you bought it sub 2, right?
Sub 2. I'm only giving the seller, so I'm only giving the seller $8,500.
That's what the seller will get in their pocket.
They get that at their, in their pocket money for vacating the property.
That's good money.
Yes, it is. I try to get through 5,000. So my first two subject twos that I did was 5,000.
You got the seller 5.
Gave the seller 5.
Did any of those have any equity?
No, they didn't have equity.
So they wouldn't have got 0.
They would have got 0.
That's what I want everybody to understand. People sell you these properties because they have no equity, y'all. And if they don't sell them to Princess, they're gonna get nothing. Because ain't nobody else out there gonna do this, especially with a realtor. They gotta pay realtor fees and inspection stuff when they sell. But when Princess comes along and you're offering money, they're like, what do you mean? I don't have to pay realtor fees? I get money instead of getting nothing? Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you're offering that to the community.
Yeah.
What up, Roundup family? Thank you so much for watching our video. Hey, look, if you wanna buy real estate in houses like Princess is doing, it's crazy, her name's Princess, my wife's name is Princess. What I did was I put the link in the video description to my full creative financing training course. That's right, I'm gonna teach you how to buy real estate subject to and sell it on a lease option. It's the exact same training Princess went through, and you can go through it too. So I'm gonna give you a special for watching this video since you're watching. If you use the code 100OFF, I'm gonna give you $100 off the training. So get down below, go now, and then you can keep watching the video and get trained up. This is the time to buy real estate right now before things go crazy and the interest rates go too high. All right, let's get back to our video. So about the first two, go ahead.
Yeah, but this one I'm working on now, I try to work with him. I try to get him down to 5,000, but yeah, he would have walked away. Like it wasn't gonna work. He had another offer. He was actually working with like Mark Spain, but
is that a big buyer in your area?
I think they're nationwide.
Oh, they might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, it didn't work out with him. So I think it's like he was already used to a certain amount because he was working with Mark Spain. But Mark Spain offered him, you know how you do the inspection. You use the inspection clause to get the price reduction. Mm-hmm. That's what Mark Spain did to him. He didn't like that. They did that, lowered the price with a price reduction.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Especially on a subject too.
So I'm doing subject to. I don't think there's many people in my area that know it or familiar with subject to.
Ain't many people on planet Earth that familiar with subject to, Princess.
So that's to my advantage.
Yes, you're special.
I wrote him a letter just the same as I do everybody. That's my form of marketing.
Y'all hear that now? Letters, they still work.
They still work.
Them joints is powerful.
They are. They are.
Do you know why they're powerful though?
I think it's a sentimental touch. You know, they feel like they know you a little bit.
They can
Power
feel
of trust.
it.
Yeah.
Real estate. It all boils down to real estate. Do you realize you're taking up real estate in somebody's home when you send them a letter? You're taking up real estate. This piece of paper, it's real estate right now, and you get to sell in a vacuum. It's not like you're on the World Wide Web doing this.
Right.
When you're on, you get to take them away from everything. My name is Princess. I want to buy your house. Phone. They can't think of anything else. That's why letters are so powerful. We still do them to this day. So they read your letter. They love what you said.
So his contract with Mark Spain was expiring anyway, so he let that expire. And then once that is expired, I got it under contract with him. Little did he know, I mean, I'm an investor too. I'm playing the same game Mark Spain is playing.
That's cool.
So I get it under contract for $12,000.
12 grand.
When I'm talking to the seller on the phone, I'm just agreeing with them. I'm just like, okay.
What are they saying?
He's asking for $12,000. Now I know that I'm not gonna give him $12,000 because I'm like, I really.
$12,000 for a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this Goldsboro or where is this at?
It's in Goldsboro. It's in Goldsboro. So I knew 12,000 out of the question, but my thing is get it under contract.
12,000 is out of the question.
12,000 was out of the question.
Meaning,
like I knew
it's too high.
It was too high. 12,000.
You're not talking about a down payment. You're talking about the whole price of the house.
No, to seller, what he gets at closing.
Oh, okay. I'm bugging. I'm like $12,000 house.
She meant the whole price of the house was $12,000. Like,
I'm
That's
like,
a dog
wow,
house.
How we good? We rolling?
yeah.
The total price and then I'm lost.
Because there's no equity. I'm sorry. Storytelling kind of.
We got to be congruent with the conversation. Go ahead.
Okay, so he owes. Let me see. 91,000.
91,000.
He owes 91,000.
It's worth.
The Zestimate is 133.
Okay. So he has some equity, not much.
I don't know. I think. Sure.
He's got some equity.
He paid. So he owes 90. He owes 91,000, but he only paid 86,000 for the property.
Okay. Owes 91, he paid 96. He probably borrowed closing costs when he bought it then. He owes 91, but he paid 86.
Like that's on his payoff statement is 91,000.
He might be late. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why he owes more than what he paid.
Yeah,
for.
so
He might paid some.
It's in pre-foreclosure.
Okay,
pre-foreclosure, so he's behind. Then they add on the attorney fees. They add on the late fees.
That's right. They added all of it.
Yeah, so
you got to pay him something.
I got to pay him. He negotiated well, I would say. This seller, he stood his ground. So I tried to get him. I tried to get him down to 5,000.
Okay.
I got it originally on a contract for 12 to seller. I tried to get it down to 5, but you know he stood his ground and he's getting 85.
8,500.
8,500.
You're gonna make it all back.
Exactly. Probably make it back in 2.5 years.
Hold up, you're gonna make it back faster because you get a down payment though.
You're right. I mean, that kind of goes towards the purchase price. I mean, it does go towards the purchase price, but still, it's no money out of my pocket. So
but
I'm gonna get it back relatively soon. So it's no love lost here.
Get it back soon. I'm good with soon.
Soon. Unless I pull out my calculator, I don't want to do all that.
Nah, I don't do that.
Okay.
So you gave him 85 at closing. I'm trying to get the people to understand your acquisition.
Okay, like how the subject to work, how the deal works.
With that one, yeah.
Okay, so this seller, he's gonna get 8,500. I am gonna have to bring his loan current to do that. See how much is it? It's 7,000 to bring his loan current. Then
so
I'm gonna
15.
have to. Is it 15? Then I'm gonna have to pay 2,500 for closing costs.
It's 17.
Yep, and then I'm gonna keep like 2,000 on reserves for, I'm gonna have to make the mortgage payments on his behalf until I get a tenant buyer in there.
That'll be fast.
Yeah.
What are you selling? That's right. We were talking about what are you selling it for? So you're in it for 90. You're in it for 110, roughly.
Right.
Would you say 890 plus 20 or 90 plus 17, 18?
I'm seeing. Yeah, 110.
You're gonna be in it roughly. I always go up 110.
Okay.
And you're selling it for what? What's your sales price?
So of course we won't sell it for more than what it appraises for.
Yeah.
But the purchase price on paper is 167. Now you could tell me honestly if you think that's too high, but
I don't know the area. What is it worth?
is it?
I think what you said. Oh,
The estimate is 133.
Okay.
So I just tacked on a little bit on top of since it's gonna be a 2-year lease.
I wouldn't even worry about it. I think 165 is fine. What is your monthly payment?
To me, it's kind of high, but it still works out. The math still works out, but right now his payments are $692, and that's only because he let the insurance lapse, and the mortgage company, like his lender, added on like some type of mandatory
Forced placed insurance.
Yeah, say it again.
Forced placed insurance.
That's what it is. Forced placed insurance, which is higher than regular
Worst
homeowners
insurance you could
insurance.
ever get.
Yes. So once I get, which I already have, honestly.
You looked around.
I like to have everything in one place. So I'm with USAA. So I just went ahead and added him on as an additional insurer to my policy.
All right, man, you're working.
Yeah.
So you're gonna cancel that other policy
soon,
hopefully.
We're scheduled to close on the 25th.
You don't
so
get to cancel.
I've already canceled that and
okay, we're done. Yeah, we're done with that. So forced place insurance, that's what happens when the homeowner doesn't have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
The lender will go to the insurance company and place a policy, and they're going to put the maximum policy on there, the most expensive one.
Yes.
And then you're sitting there like, what am I going to do? So thank goodness, you're a monster. You canceling that one and got a new one. You're doing exactly the right moves, yo. Exactly the same thing I would do.
Yes.
Get rid of that mess. It's probably 3 times whatever a regular policy is.
Exactly. So it's going to go down once, everything takes effect. So I know I don't know exactly how much the mortgage payment is going to go down, but I know it won't be $692.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So let's say you pay me $650. What will this thing rent for?
So right now I'm getting traffic going to it. I'm renting it. I have it the rent have it listed for $900 a month, and I'm getting attention. So
$900. So is that comparable for your area, or is that low or high? Is it 3? How many bedrooms is it?
It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, we try to go a little higher on rents. Is that high or low for your area? I'm thinking in my mind, $900. I'm like, if I could live in anything here for $900, there's nothing here in Hampton Roads for $900. Zero.
That's pretty average in Goldsboro. $900 in the area. Yeah.
Right. Well, you can't. The market's bigger than you and me. You can't beat the market. Mm-hmm. If that's what it is, then that's what it's going to be. Yeah. But you can always go to Zillow and just see the comps. No doubt you already know. You're from there. You know what the rents are.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to drop on us regarding your lease option, creative finance, down payment, crazy world of non-traditional real estate that you're in?
Well, one thing I do want to say, if it's all right with you, is just that the deals come in because I have a background in wholesaling, so I know what a motivated seller is. I know what a good deal looks like, and I'm always looking to take on my next deal. If you would like to be a part of the process, I am looking for investors. I'm looking for lenders, private money lenders, hard money lenders. If you're interested in receiving 7 to 9% interest or APR, please reach out to me and we see how we can make a deal happen. You make money, I make money, we make money together.
Yeah. So how do people get in touch? We'll put it in the show notes in the bottom. You want to give us, what do you want to share? I don't want to push you too hard. You want to give us email, Instagram, Facebook? How do people get in touch with you to work with you?
So you can reach out to me on Facebook. That is Princess Shabazz. And you can also email me if you like. It's princess@royalfalcon.info.
We'll put it in. We'll type it in so they can just click. I'll type it in at the bottom too.
Okay.
So they have it. Yeah. So that y'all got to remember. I know how y'all round up. Y'all don't want to remember nothing. Round up family don't want to remember nothing. Just where can I click at?
Just let me click it. But I have some questions though for you. How do you extract money from the subject to properties that you acquire? Like, are you able to take out HELOCs on those, or or do you just leave that loan in place and don't touch it?
It depends. So that's a great question. How do you pull money out of a property that you bought subject to. So y'all know we buying them subject to, which means the loan's not in our name, which means most traditional lenders ain't gonna loan you more money because the deed's in your name but not the loan. So yes, I have a local bank that has done it for me. It's called Union Atlantic Bank. They have done it. I know another local bank, Town Mortgage, has done it. So I will go to a small bank, number one. Number two, you already know my content. Regular people will loan you the money all day. All day.
Against the subject to property?
You're private lenders, so go ahead.
So they don't mind being in second position?
Well, as long as there's equity. Remember, you got to have equity there.
Okay.
You have to secure. That's how I've been able to borrow as much money as I need. You give them more security than the money you're borrowing. Give them more.
Okay.
So if you borrow 10 grand, give them $20,000 worth of equity room. So now I might borrow 100 grand, but the house is worth 200.
Okay.
So you got a lien. Your lien is down here. I got all this equity above your property, so they feel safe. But if you borrow, they're in second position, you still want to make sure they have some equity there, because you know equity can go away real quick.
Right.
Well, you kind of knew, you haven't seen it disappear yet. Equity can go away real fast, princess. Quick. It can go. You think you got 30, 40, 50 equity, it can be sunk very quickly. So just...
And you have no control over that, really?
You don't. But you can control how much you borrow.
Okay.
So if you got 50 worth of equity, make sure you try to keep it as, maybe 20, 25. Don't borrow the whole 50. That's how people get in trouble. You got me? So you got your 100, like your first subject to loan is 100. So you got 50 equity. Just borrow 20, 25. But I just use regular people. Princess, I go to regular people and I say, look, I got this much equity. Would you loan me money based on that house? I don't even go to the lenders. I just don't use them. I don't go to banks.
Okay. But so by me I have to basically wait a few years for the equity to build up in the
Yes,
property.
on that house. But
Okay.
I mean, you can, I don't know what your real estate is. Yes, if you don't have the equity, you have to either find a property that has equity. Yeah, you want to see, you don't want to end up like those, you seeing Instagram, you seeing what's going on. People taking money and all that. They don't have they didn't give their lenders equity.
Okay.
There's no reason a lender should say, that princess, I loaned her money, I couldn't get my money back.
Dog.
They should never say that, because they can always take a house. All my lenders can take houses.
Yeah.
So they would never blow me up. Even if I don't pay them, they're happy because they take my real estate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So yeah, local
Power
lender,
to pen.
local lender or private lender. And it takes time to build those up.
Another question. This one might be crazy, but can you burr subject to?
Can you, the problem with trying to do that, can you do a buy, renovate, refinance, rent out, and repeat? Which I don't like the strategy. I don't even practice that strategy. Can you do it? I don't necessarily want you to refinance a debt that's not in your name. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, yes, that is what I was considering. Like, is that a possible? I think, pretty sure, like, the paperwork when you sign for subject to says that you can sign for any, like, because you get the power of attorney, so you can sign for anything pertaining to the house, which refinancing would fall under that.
You talking about get a loan in the seller's name? Possibly.
Okay.
That's what we talking about.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you. Let's walk through it. If you were to go get a loan in the seller's name, what would be the security? What? Okay, well,
It's the house, though. The house itself.
There you go. Who owns the house?
I do.
So if you got a loan in a new loan in the seller's name, where's the security? I understand you own this house, you get a loan. Security's the
It don't
home.
match.
It won't match.
Okay.
It won't match.
And that's what I was thinking, but I didn't know if you knew something different.
It won't match. That's why, hence, once again, we don't have nothing in our name. So lenders don't necessarily look at us as bankable anyway. So that's why we just use regular people.
Okay.
But if you have a loan in somebody else's name, and I'm not saying not to do it, try to keep it in their name if you can. I know it's challenging if you want to look at the payment lowered or maybe. But if you can, dude, if you own a house, it may not feel like a big deal. I promise you, it's a big deal. I'm telling you, dude, you own real estate that the loan is not in your name. That is huge.
Yeah.
It's big. And then for some people to refinance it, then go put the loan in your name, I'm like, let you do that. But you did say getting in the seller's name, but no, I don't think you'd be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, what I like about it not being the properties I own not being in my name, or the loans, the debt not being in my name, the properties are in my name. But what I like about the debt not being in my name is that it doesn't affect my DTI or anything. Whenever eventually I would want to probably use like my VA home loan.
Yeah, you got the VA.
Exactly. So I'm saving that for, the big purchase.
The big one.
The big one.
You got the VA, man. That'd be cool. I think, don't they have some investment programs too, I heard?
They do.
Yeah, dude. That'd be a good thing for you. Mm-hmm. So when you go get that loan, you have no debt.
Exactly. And that's why I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't even show. The banks don't even speak that language. Like when you say, well, I own these houses, but the debt, they don't even count it against you.
So when you go with a private money lender, that debt doesn't show up on your credit report either, right?
No.
So that's why I need these private money lenders to reach out to me so that we can acquire these properties and it's not showing up on my credit report.
There you go. Yeah, man, you got it. You getting it.
If you have anybody you'd like to connect me with, Kris,
well, here's the thing I want to say about private money, if I have your permission.
please.
Private money lenders don't necessarily get referred by other investors. Not to say that I couldn't possibly do it, but it is a relationship you have cultivated. So all my private lenders know I deal with Kris Haskins.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I can point people around, yes, but it's a relationship that you develop, and you're personable. You know what you're doing. You've done your research. You know exactly how the business works. So it's not hard for you to develop that.
Okay.
But you just got to have a system, talking to people, getting to know, and I can show you. I go in my office and show you. I have a prospectus that
I was just going to ask you about that.
You got to have it, man. I mean,
So whenever you download that, because I know it's downloadable, like, how do you personalize your prospectus?
It's all, it's a program publisher or something. You can go in there and change it all and put different names and addresses and stuff on there. All it really is how you do business and then a bunch of before and after houses.
Okay.
That's it, how we do it and how the system works. You personalize. You talking about just mine in general?
Yes, yours.
You can, yeah, it's editable. Everything's editable. You can go in there and change your name, put the stuff on it. I can't give you the one I use. It wouldn't make sense having Kris Haskins on it. You got to put your name on it.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was like, but this one is pertaining to you. The one that you sell is pertaining to you. So I was like, well, how does that help?
You can change it. You can change it. Yeah, you change all. It's all editable. I made everything editable because I got to get y'all some money.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
All the money
man,
I can get.
Shoot. All right.
So would you ever live in a subject to property? Like property you acquire subject to? Because I read on some of the closing documents for the subject to, it's like this is a commercial loan and it shouldn't be used for like primary residence.
Really?
Yeah, I did read that.
So the commercial loan might have been a loan that was on more than one house. I'm trying to think what type of loan that could be. So you looked at the deed of trust. You actually pulled it and looked at it.
It was just a part of the closing documents, like the sub 2 package. It said that.
It wasn't on the original note.
No.
Okay, well, if it's not on the original note, I would live. In fact, I highly recommend, and we did live in the house that we bought subject to. The last house we moved from I bought a sub 2.
Okay, yeah, I remember you talking about that. It was like wood behind you and stuff.
Yeah,
like brown.
That's where I live, sub 2. That's I couldn't afford to I couldn't qualify for a loan for my family, so that's all I had.
Make it work.
Gotta make it work.
Okay.
I would, shit. I don't want nobody out there getting loans in their names. They don't got to.
Okay. So what about you mentioned one time like self-directed IRAs? Like, can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah. So Roth, self-directed Roth IRA. I can't remember what year it came out, but the Roth IRA allows us. So for you seem like a go-getter and somebody that's going to go out there and manage your wealth. A lot of people don't do it. A lot of people just want to pass that off to somebody else. So if it's truly self-directed, then you are the asset manager. You are your own Fidelity. You are your own Schwab or your own TD American, whatever these big stock brokers are. That's who you turn yourself into. So if you feel that you can take that on and manage the money yourself, yes, I would do it. Okay. So the big thing about it is it's all tax-free. So do you have one yet?
I do. I do have a Roth IRA.
Okay. Is it self-directed?
So that I don't know. What does that mean exactly, self-directed?
Self-directed means you're the asset manager. There is no
Okay, you said that.
Fidelity.
So I haven't been managing it. That's what? I just kind of like set it to.
So you can set it.
Yeah, like I
You
set
are
it.
managing it then.
Okay.
What,
yeah.
Are you buying stocks or what are you buying?
It's stocks.
Paper.
It's what?
Whatever the paper is. I mean, it's just paper assets, stuff that's, it's not real estate.
No, it's not real estate.
All right. So you're in real estate now.
Right.
So well, did you know that your Roth IRA can buy real estate?
I'm hearing more talk about it now, but I don't really understand
The concept.
Yes, like how it works, like how you pull money out and then to buy real estate, and then it goes. I know it has to go back into it, your Roth account.
Yes. Yep.
But how is it monitored to where how is it monitored whether it doesn't go back in or whether it goes back in or not?
The money
yes.
itself? Okay, well, I don't know if the IRS is monitoring IRAs. I don't know if the IRS is monitoring IRAs yet. And I've been audited twice so far, and they looked over my stuff, so we do it. But here's your purchase and sale agreement, right? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with wholesaling with IRAs too?
No.
Okay, so let's say you have a purchase and sale agreement, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say it says Princess Shabazz is the buyer. Mm-hmm. Let's switch that up. What if it says Princess IRA is the buyer? You with me? Mm-hmm. What do you give on an earnest money? How much earnest money do you give out to a homeowner on one of your regular contracts?
Like $100.
$100, right? What if your IRA funded that earnest money deposit?
Oh, okay.
How much is that?
$100.
$100.
Right.
All right. So you got $100 that went out, and you just sold a house for you say $11,000, right? Now that came back in. Where would that $11,000 go? If Princess Shabazz IRA was the buyer on this contract.
Oh, okay. So you make your Roth IRA the buyer. Okay. So they receive. Okay.
I love this conversation. So it's all tax free.
Okay.
It goes to your IRA. Now the skill is, the real skill, dude, is being able to live without that $11,000, because you can't touch it right now. It goes into your IRA. So people don't talk. That's the real skill. Like doing this shit and doing all that, that is a skill. But the skill set really is saying, you know what, this going in my IRA, I ain't gonna touch it. I'm just gonna use it to. Now you got 11 in there, right? You do another one, $100. Now you got 5 or whatever, and you can. The word is co-invest with your IRA too. So it doesn't have to be 100%. You could do $50 from you and $50 from your IRA on this contract. So now you own half of this contract and your IRA owns half.
So how is the closing attorney working that to get it back into my? I know the Roth name, my Roth name is on the contract, but how's the money getting back into the Roth account?
How is it getting into the Roth account?
Like, how's it being deposited back into the Roth? Because typically they give you a check at closing, so it would have the buyer's name on it.
Yep.
So does the Roth have a bank account?
Yes. Yeah, Roth got his own bank account. We call it a custodian account. It's the same thing. So you have to have a custodian, right? You can't just go open up an IRA account. So I use a company called Equity Trust Company. I'm sure you heard me say it before. Equity Trust Company is my custodian. So I say, Equity Trust Company, can you, when I get a house on the contract, I'm like, can you send $50 to American Escrow Title Company? Boom. That's the earnest money, right? And then when they do all their closing, you get the new buyer and all that. Then the title company looks at the buyer and they say, Princess Shabazz, 50%, Princess Shabazz IRA, 50%. And they cut 2 checks. And then they give you one, and they give you both of them. And one's made to you, and then one's made out to your IRA. And then you just mail the check back to your IRA, and it's over.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with you. You are the asset manager. So every month I get rent comes in, and they pay rent to my IRA. They give a money order, and I just take the money order and just forward it onto the IRA.
That's nice.
I've been doing this shit for years, and I feel like a squirrel when I go to my mailbox. I'm just mailing in $800, $500. Next thing you know, you got $100. It's like it's magic. You got $100,000 in the bank or in your IRA account, and it's all tax free. But you can't spend it. The secret is you can't spend it on yourself. You have to use it to invest.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Got you. So how do you know? Because every time, like, just because you get something under contract doesn't mean the deal is going to go through. So is your IRA, what happens when your IRA like takes a deduction, like it loses money? What? Because you putting down earnest money.
We put up a whole $50.
But you get penalized if you lose money instead of making money? You don't?
Well, let's say you did lose $50. Let's say you did, all right. That's just, dude, we were at the tip of the iceberg. We're just talking about wholesaling in an IRA. We ain't even talked about sub-2 and lease options and renovations. And I mean, we could go on and on about IRA stuff. All we're doing is talking about wholesaling. So what would happen if you lost $50? Are you saying what would happen if you couldn't find a buyer, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I guess, because that's if the deal doesn't go through for whatever reason, you're gonna lose that whatever earnest money you put down, $50, $100, $25, whatever it is.
Whatever. That is, I guess you could. I mean, it's such a small loss. I spend more on that on drinks at the bar. I don't even know. I wouldn't even.
Right.
Now, if you want to talk about 50,000, damn, we could talk about bigger deals if you want to talk about that.
I just didn't know if it was allowed. Like, I didn't know if there was if it was, some type of penalty, or, you know what I mean? Like, since it's you can't take money out of it, but if you lost money, that's taking money out of it.
Yeah, that's a loss though. But it's not a loss like Princess Shabazz spent it on you.
Gotcha.
This was an investment, and every investment you have to sign a waiver. It's a form you fill out to get the money. I say call, but you have to fill out a form and sign. At the bottom it says, this is your own risk. Some investments lose money and you sign. So if you lose money, that's on you. Hence, self-directed.
Gotcha.
Remember, you can't call Fidelity and say, man, you messed up my investment. What are you? You call on yourself, which you take the risk. So for me, I just bet on me. So everybody watching has to decide who they're going to bet on. Right? You have to decide. And either one's okay. I'm not mad at people. But if you're 30 years old, it's time for you to at least. I set mine up when I was 28. I'm so glad I set it up. It's hard to envision it now when you're younger. Why would I set an IRA up and put money in it? I could just use the money now. Are you thinking that?
So I have a Roth IRA that we would set up through the military. Honestly, I don't check it or anything like that. It's just there. I know I have it. It's there, but I don't really actively manage it.
Okay. So is it making money, losing money, or?
I think it's like kind of like staying stagnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think all investors need to have a self-directed Roth, dude. I mean, good God, my mentor told me, he set me down, old rich white dude. Kris, I'm gonna show you something that should be illegal. He told me this out of his mouth. I'm like, you know what, I'm listening. Took me to lunch, showed me how it all worked. I'm like, sign me up. At the time, it was 2006. I didn't know what the hell it was. I'm glad I did it. I didn't think about it. I knew he was rich. And he told me to do it, so I'm doing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
So she's got a Roth. I mean, everybody in my house got one.
Okay. But yours, it sounds like you have yours kind of like through an actual, like, because mine, I have mine, but mine is not a physical location. Like, mine is not a bank that I can just drive to or.
Mine isn't either. It's in Ohio.
Okay.
They mail this stuff through mail and wire.
Okay, yeah. Well, wiring or really I was having it taken out of my paycheck.
Or you were doing contributions?
Yes, contributions.
Yeah. All right. I'm so glad you mentioned that. So we have to understand the difference between a contribution and growth / profit. All right. Well, we splitting your mind up today, Princess. It's a lot. All right. So contribution is you're paying it from your income, right?
Right.
Growth and profit is coming from somewhere else, right? So it's not you putting money in. We don't do contributions. Don't do that. Last contribution I did to my IRA was the first one, 2006. I have not done one since. All of the money's in the IRA, profit / growth. All right, all those assignment fees.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Over the years, boom, 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 boom. They're filling up, building up, building up. But we don't do contributions.
Okay.
All right, just keep that in mind. I can't train you on it all at 1 hour.
Exactly.
But just remember, we don't do contributions. We do growth and profit. All right, two different things. Contributions are taxed, and their contributions are capped. Or I don't know what your maximum is. I don't know what it is for the year, $5,000 or something. You can only put
I think it was capped at like 5% or something like that.
Whatever, it's capped. Growth and profit is unlimited.
Okay.
You got me? You can
Gotcha.
put as much in there. You can do as many deals. Boom, boom, boom. Wholesaling. You got it?
Got it.
So that's just one thing. I'm glad you're talking about that.
Thank you. Glad you're willing to discuss it.
Yeah, man, that'd be $2.
I got you. It had my purse over there.
Okay. What else you got? Anything else? Don't be asking me a lot of questions when the camera's cut off. Everybody does that.
I'm telling you, because they one that I'm trying to find right now. Like, I know I got
it's
this
gonna
question.
happen.
It escaped me. Like, I can't remember it. But I definitely do. And it's pertaining to, like, the trust. But I can't remember what it, you said something that, like, triggered a question in my mind.
All right. You got a few more seconds, man. Do not, I know what's going to happen. The camera going to cut off and you're going to be firing away. What about this? What about that? I was just like, I told you.
We can cut them back on.
I guess so. All right. So anything else we're going to do right now? If not, we're going to wrap up.
All right, we can wrap up.
You
Thank
sure?
you so much. Yes.
It's an honor to have you.
It's an
Princess
honor to be
Shabazz, y'all.
Thank you so much, Kris. I really appreciate everything you taught. I mean, I can't believe you giving away this information for free like you do. I mean, you don't hold back. Like, you really just, you give it out. Your videos are long, too. So, like, thank you so much. Because it, obviously, you can see how it's impacted my life. It's shifted my trajectory. Like,
I'm so glad.
Who knows what else is in store for me because of what I learned from you.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I hope my Taylor, you hearing this? I'm trying to teach her this stuff, man, and I pray that it's getting in.
Taylor gonna do big things in life.
She
I can
is.
tell for sure.
Bigger
Like,
than this.
Yes.
Yeah, way bigger.
Real estate wise?
I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I'm just saying. I just see it in you. Like, you just seem like a go getter as well.
Oh, she
like,
is.
I'm telling you, like,
6 o'clock in the morning, she ready.
I like waking up early though. I just don't know what to do with my time.
Now that's the issue. Devil working and she ain't.
she seems like a little boss already.
She is a little boss. All right, let's wrap up. Thank you so much. Round up, homies. Listen, get in touch with Princess. All of her information is in the video description. She's in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And the way you're talking, I need to get my butt down there. $30,000 houses. I'm surprised you wouldn't just do slow flips. I mean, you wouldn't just finance them out.
I think that was the question I had. About, okay, so, dog, I can't remember.
I would just finance them out. You buy them for 30. Are there more $30,000 properties in Goldsboro?
Yeah, I mean, it might not be might not be in the condition you want them in, though.
I don't. Does it have a roof?
No, Kris, I've heard how you talk about property.
You see how I do.
I heard, no, y'all be talking about, and then both of y'all be talking about stuff is ghetto and stuff. You wouldn't be wanting, you don't want to invest in Goldsboro for like $30,000. Taylor was like, ghetto. Like, come on, I remember that video. Both of y'all was talking about that neighborhood.
Oh, with
that was
Jody.
a nice neighborhood.
Jody.
That was a nice
Yeah,
neighborhood.
that
Y'all
was-
saw one beat up car and y'all was like,
That
that's the
was-
ghetto. They want nobody shooting. They want nobody selling booty. They want doing none of that. And y'all was talking about it was ghetto. And your face, you was like, but you know you gonna get bad tenants.
Okay.
Buildings. It's the buildings.
What do you mean?
You can tell by the buildings and the way it's built. Like, it's just the
That
aura.
neighborhood was a little older. But how you buy determines how you sell. Jody was looking for traditional tenants. Mm-hmm. We don't do that. So if he was going to do it the way we do it, I wouldn't care. But he's looking for people to go in there warm and fuzzy, all this stuff.
Well, I thought he was interested. He sounded like he was interested in doing it, the tenant buyers.
Yeah, from that point on. Mm-hmm. But what he's been dealing with, I mean, he got what he got. You saw it. People, the house is vacant.
Okay.
You can't get people to move in. The neighborhood matters if you're looking for traditional tenants. But now, if you do a lease option or a slow flip or seller financing, I mean, the neighborhood is irrelevant to me. I mean, I'm just a bank.
What do you think about buying in a flood zone?
I mean, the whole Hampton Roads area is a flood zone. I mean, you got to. I own rental property in flood zones now.
Okay.
It's just as long as I have flood insurance.
Okay.
Not that much.
So, like, what would you say is a good deductible for like flood? Like,
I try to keep it under $100 a month if possible. Oh, deductible, you saying, or premium price?
like no. Your deductible. Like, if something happens, if a flood does take place, how much do you want to pay out of pocket before the insurance was to take over?
I think I do $2,500. I don't do much on that.
Okay.
What do you do?
I have it set to 2,500, but I was just making sure that
Anything's gonna be under that, it's gonna be a lot. Flood work is extremely expensive. I didn't know Goldsboro was low. I didn't know it was
some
low.
parts is.
Really?
Yeah, we have flood zones and like 2 different sides of the city.
Really? Mm-hmm. So, you talked about the neighborhood slow flip. So 30,000. I was thinking about going to. I don't mind going down there because all I'm doing is going to be a bank. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna buy the house, then I'm gonna put it up for 89,000, and I'm not gonna ever go to it again.
My $30,000 house that I have in Goldsboro, it cash flows more than the property I have that's worth like 180.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah.
There you go. That's exactly what we're doing. Mm-hmm. You got it. All right. Round up. Let me see. This is a soft ending. I mean, landing the plane now, or is something else coming up? It's cool if it is.
I think
Cheap houses is what I would need. I'm like 30 grand. St. Louis, downtown Newport News, Virginia. Now I'm looking at Goldsboro. We might even look down there. There's more than enough houses to go around.
I'll send you some deals, Chris.
I'll buy them.
I'm a deal magnet.
Well, I see that. Your favorite driving dollars. Yeah, we covered it all. Listen, down in the video, Taylor, can you get my saw in there, please? So I can. It's in the right by the closet there.
Oh, you gonna tell them to subscribe, huh?
Yeah, you gotta have the subscribe thing.
Tell them to subscribe.
This is something. The reason I'm doing this is because when I meet people, I'm on the screen, right? And I'm not saying this. I'm not big and bad. It can be less believable when you see somebody always talking about something. But then, thank you. When we have the beautiful princess to come in and talk to us that she's actually applying this and doing it, I just hope it will be more real for our community. People just hear me blabbing my mouth all the time. I'm like, are they getting it? I don't know. I get nervous.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's real.
Subscribe to the channel, like this content, and stay tuned for more podcasts here at the Roundup Podcast Studio. See you on the next video. Peace.